Crafting on the Plains. My name is Jacintha, and this is my channel all about crafts, namely cross stitch, knitting, sewing, quilting, and anything else crafty that I get up to. I have had a little bit of an influx of new viewers, so I just wanted to say welcome if you are a new viewer or new subscriber. Thank you so much for checking me out and subscribing. And if you are someone who's been subscribed for a while, thank you so much for being with me throughout this journey. If you are new, I want to just introduce myself in case you haven't heard me introduce myself yet. So like I said, my name is Jacintha. I live in Oklahoma. That is why my channel is called Crafting on the Plains. And I live here in my house with my husband, my 5-year-old daughter, and our 2 cats, which you may see those cats if you are on my Instagram. They are featured along with my crafting a lot in my Instagram stories. So also please check me out on Instagram. That will be linked below as well. That kind of gives you some day-to-day updates about what I am working on. I am an attorney and also a college professor. So I stay pretty busy, but I'm also very passionate about crafting, and I am just so thankful for all of you who are tuning in with me. So this episode is gonna be pretty full. I have got a lot of stuff. I have a little smidge of a life update because it is related to crafting. I've got a finished object, I've got whips, I've got a new start, I've got a giveaway, and I have got a lot of haul. And I have also got some knitting and crochet update as well. So I'm gonna try to jump right into that. I will also try to put some timestamps down below. Sometimes it takes a little while after the video uploads for me to do that, but I'm gonna try to remember to put the timestamps in because since this is a fairly packed video, I want to make sure that you can jump around if you want to. Also, before I get started, I think that a lot of my new viewers, if you're a new viewer, please let me know how you found me. But I think a lot of people found me through my friend Sarah, which is Handmade by Sarah W. She is also on Flosstube, and we recently did a stitch along together. And I know that she's referred a lot of people to my channel. So thank you so much, Sarah, for telling people about my channel. I really appreciate it. And if you're over here from Sarah's channel, then welcome. So yeah, I'm going to jump right into all of my stuff. So I took a vacation for about a week. Last week, my family and I went to Denver, Colorado for spring break. And it was a wonderful getaway. We love going to Denver. There's a direct flight from Oklahoma City to Denver, and it's pretty inexpensive to fly from Oklahoma City to Denver, even now with prices of things being higher. So we love to go there, and we had a wonderful time. It was very snowy, and that was okay with us because we are from Oklahoma, and so we don't get a whole lot of snow. So we definitely enjoyed the snow and the true winter weather there. And I also got to go to an LNS, so I did some major purchasing, and because I was on vacation, I got to do a lot of crafting as well. So that is why this is going to be kind of a bumper episode of haul and crafts and all of that stuff. So that's what I've been up to. I am back to work, which that means that we are now in the downhill, just crazy, I don't know, just super busy time of the second half of the spring semester. If you are an educator or if you've been through college, you know that basically after spring break until graduation, you're just going. So I am hoping to be able to continue with my updates, but they might be a little bit more sporadic just because, yeah, the next few weeks are going to be intense. But then it's summer and I will have a little bit more time on my hands. So I'm going to get into my crafts. So I have a finished object. It's not a fully finished, but it is a finish. And that is this. It is Light by Barbara Anna. And this was one of my March WIPCO calls. And if you watched my last episode, I had said that I wanted to get it finished, and I did. I'm so proud of myself. There wasn't that much to stitch. I think I needed to do like one of the houses down there at the bottom and then a little bit of vine and berries, and I got it done. And so very, very happy about this. This was my 2023 New Year, New Start. I worked on it January 2023 and then put it down. Didn't touch it again until New Year's Eve of 2023. And then it got called again as a whip go this March, and I finished it. So I finished this like a couple days, maybe a day before we went to Denver, and I was really, really excited. So I did do some major converting on this. This is, I don't know if I said, this is Light by Barbara Anna, and this is actually a free chart. And I cannot believe this is a free chart because it is amazing. You can access Barbara Anna's free charts through her Instagram account. If you go onto her link tree, she has links to her free charts there. So I will try to remember to put her Instagram below. She has so many amazing freebies. I mean, like big freebies. So I love this one. I stitched it on 32 count vintage country mocha, and I made quite a lot of changes in the colors, mostly because I just wanted to play with some of my overdyed stash. So I've got I have some forbidden fibers in there. That's like some of the berries and the stole on the collar and the sleeves are forbidden fibers just because I had some leftovers. The dress is probably the most dramatic change. That I ended up stitching in Classic Colorworks Cinnamon Toast, and then the little Selbu snowflakes on the dress are 2 colors of DMC. So normally I try to put my conversions on my Instagram page. I have highlights of conversions, but this one does not have a one-to-one conversion. So it's not like I said, wherever you see this symbol, stitch this color, because I kind of just played around and put things where I wanted to. So it's not really a one-to-one conversion. I just sort of stitched a few stitches. If I liked it, I kept it. If I didn't like it, I pulled it out and tried something else. So if you want my conversion for this, I am happy to figure out exactly what I did and type it up and send it to you. But I'm not going to be able to like easily put it into like a Instagram like stories, like quick, easy look at it and screenshot it thing. So if you want my conversion, just send me an email or a DM on Instagram, and I am happy to figure out what I did, because I know I can figure out what I did, but and send it to you if you want this conversion, because I am really happy with how this turned out. So it's beautiful. I'm a little bit unsure as to how I'm going to finish it, because it came out as a little bit of an odd size, so it's not going to fit like very easily into any of the standard size frames. So I'm not really sure what I want to do, because I don't know that I want to pay to have this like professionally framed. I love it, but it's kind of a smaller piece. I don't know. So y'all gave me a lot of good suggestions for finishing my hair and thistles in my last video. So if anyone has any tips on maybe how I can finish this one, let me know. I may just end up, I don't know. I may just put it in a standard size frame. I may see if I can get a frame made. I'm not sure, but I'm open to suggestions. So super happy with how this turned out. It's beautiful. All right, so I had this strong desire before I left on my trip to stitch on and get some good progress on several of the pieces that I was not bringing with me, because I knew I was only bringing like maybe 1 or 2 projects with me on my trip, and I don't know, I just was like, well, it's going to be a whole week where I can't touch these other projects, so I need to like really buckle down and put some good progress in on them for whatever reason. So I spent some really good time on a couple other projects that I did not take on my trip. So the first one, this is one that you have not seen in a while. This is in my big double project bag. This is my Haid, my Heaven and Earth Designs full coverage. This is Mini Ravenkin, and the pattern or the artist, I believe, is Selena Finich, I think. And I will put a picture on the screen so you can see how it will look when it's finished. Very sadly, I found out that this artist is no longer, I guess, contracted with or whatever Heaven and Earth Design. So all of her art is now off of Heaven and Earth Design, and you cannot get this chart anymore. And I'm really sad because I love this one, but there were several other of her pieces that were charted by Haid that I had wanted to eventually stitch. So I'm not going to get to now, which is sad, but it is what it is. I'm really glad that I decided to go ahead and start this mini Ravenkin because I saw it on Instagram and I fell in love with it. And the rational part of me said, Jacinta, you don't need to start a full coverage right now. I started this last April and I just could not stop thinking about it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start it. And if I hadn't have and it would have gone out, like been discontinued, I would have been devastated. So here's where I am. I have got park threads galore and I am now at 26%, which is depressing because when I ended 2023, I was at 25%. So I have managed to stitch a whole 1% since the beginning of this year. And that makes me a little sad. So here I am. So the top 2 pages that you can see I did last year, and I did I'm going to fold this up a little bit so you can kind of see better what pages I'm talking about. And then this page is the one that I've been working on. So here I did this last year, and then this year I've kind of been going up in here. And this is all confetti. Well, not completely confetti, but it's like maybe 10-15 stitches of color, and then you jump down and have a different color. And so it has taken me a lot longer. This 1% feels like it's taken me the same amount as the other 25%. And I think it's because previously, I was doing these really big blocks of like color, and now I'm really getting into some different colors. But I am getting into like her shoulder, so you can kind of see her shoulder. So that's her head. And then her shoulder, she has these like feathers on her shoulder, and I'm starting to stitch those. And so I am excited, but it is taking me a while. So I sat down the Sunday before we left. My daughter took a nap. She doesn't normally nap that much because she's 5, but it was the day of the time change. And so she was tired, and she took like a 2-hour nap. And I stitched on this that entire time for 2 hours, and I got 250 stitches, which might sound like a lot, except y'all, I'm doing 10th stitch. So this is not even full crosses. I'm doing 10th stitch, and it took me 2 hours to do 250 stitches. So slow progress, slow progress. My plan had been to do another 25% by summertime. That's not happening. That's not happening, y'all. So it's going to be what it is. I'm enjoying it still. I wish it was moving faster, but I don't want to feel like it's a chore. So yeah, but I am trying to put in like maybe one dedicated weekend a month on this, just because I had thought it would be easier to not put this aside, but with a lot of my new starts I've been doing, I have been setting this aside more than maybe I should. This, by the way, is stitched on a 25 count Lugana, and I am doing 2 strands over 1 10th stitch. And the 10th stitch, if you're not familiar, it's where you just do one leg, but all of your legs are stitched basically in the same direction. So there's that. And I don't show this to y'all every time, just because a lot of times if I only stitch like 100 stitches, you literally can't see what I am doing. But I'm hoping to get some more substantial progress on that at some point soon. All right. The other whip that I worked on before I left is housed in just one of these Amazon bags. And that is my entry or start for the Year of the Dragon Sal, which is hosted by the Huga Stitcher and by Fibers and Floss Canada. And I'm so glad they did this sal because I'm having so much fun. And this pattern this is where I am. I'm going to put a picture of the pattern on the screen because I mostly stitch from PDFs. But this is, the name of the pattern is something very generic. It's from a company at Etsy called Author Embroidery Design. And so I'm calling this my lace dragon. It's got like a just dragon pattern name, but I'm calling it lace dragon. And when you see, if you've seen the cover image that I showed you, this has a lot of backstitch, and the backstitch looks like lace, and it really brings this project to life. So I am about 20-ish% done with the cross stitching because I have this on Pattern Keeper, but Pattern Keeper does not like backstitching. It just doesn't do it. So unfortunately, I haven't started the backstitch yet, but I'm trying to get a big enough chunk of this cross stitching done so that way I can go ahead and start the backstitch, because I have a weird thing where I love backstitch, and because it's what brings this pattern to life so much, I just can't wait to start it. So here I am. You can really start to see it's a dragon now. So I've got part of the tail in, and I have the first claw, or I have one leg, I have the first claw, and yeah. This pattern, like I said, I'm about 20%, and it is so, because it's only like a few colors, you pick up one color and can just go, 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 go. And then, yeah, it's so relaxing. It's so much fun. It's on Pattern Keeper. So there we are. And I am stitching this on a 36 count white, or 36 count Winter Moon by Zweigart. And I am doing 2/2. I know a lot of people do 1/2 on 36 count, and occasionally I will do that. My preference is 2/2 on 36 count because I like a really dense coverage, and especially for this, because I'm doing 310, I wanted it to be really, really dense coverage. So that's why I'm doing the 2/2. I'm really happy with that. I'm hoping to be able to start the back stitch quite soon. All right, so now we get into the stuff I took on the trip with me. So the first one that I took on the trip with me, this is my go-to travel project. It is living in a project bag from the Scrappy Thread. And it is Real Comfort by Modern Folk Embroidery. And I am stitching this on a piece of 32 count Fortnite fabrics. And here she is. So pretty. So I make this my kind of default travel project because I love that it's 32 count, so it's easy for me to see. 32 count on light fabric, easy to see no matter what the lighting situation at the Airbnb or hotel or whatever is. And it's monochromatic, so it's really easy to just pick up one thread and go. You don't take a lot of supplies, whatever. So the thread that I'm using is a DMC variegated. It is 4240. It's a beautiful, it's just mostly coming up blue here, but it's got a purple as well. It's blue and purple. So pretty. And I am modifying this chart in a couple ways. Number one, I changed the dates. So originally it said 1817 over here, which was her year of death, and then it said another date, which I think was like a anniversary or something. But I didn't, of Jane Austen's death, but I wasn't stitching it in that year, so I'm just going to do her birth year and then her death year. And I did not feel like charting a new date on vacation, so I just left that. And I am also, there is in the original pattern, there's an alphabet that goes below. And I don't like stitching alphabets, which I know is like kind of maybe not a popular opinion amongst cross stitchers, but alphabets are not my jam. And so I like stitching text, but I just don't know, it's not my aesthetic to have a bunch of alphabets. So I decided to cut off the alphabet, and there's some houses below this vine, and I'm just going to do those. That also means it'll fit on this piece of fabric really well, and I use less floss, so really was kind of win-win. But here we are, trying to find a good place. This is a large piece, so it's kind of hard to show, but there I am, and it is coming along quite well. I put Jane, because I only had Austin. I added the word staying. I finished up that bird, one of the birds, and then I just added more to the vine. And this is so much fun to stitch. I don't know when this will be pulled back out again. It might just be the next time I travel. I'm not really sure. It is on my whip go board, so maybe it'll get pulled soon. My last whip that I took with me on my trip is a whip that I'm really excited about. This is living in it's a Me Made bag that has floss on it. That's very usual for me. A Me Made bag that I made out of some Lewis and Irene Celtic Dreams fabric, which I think is unfortunately discontinued. And I had made this for my Mighty Wee Nation Sal stitch, and then when I finished up that one, I love this bag so much I had to put something right in here. So now it is housing my Bigfoot bunch by Plum Street Samplers. Kind of a glare. Okay. Bigfoot bunch. So I am stitching this with my friend Sarah, handmade by Sarah W, on Flosstube and Instagram. And this is where I am. It's still in the hoop because I stitch on this one every day. I'm very motivated to finish this one because she sent me, we're going to have matching background. We're going to have matching backing fabric for our pillow. So she's finished her pillow, and then she sent me some of her extra fabric, and it's like this. It's so cute. So it's these like pine trees, right? And of course, Bigfoot, we all know, lives in areas where there's like a lot of, evergreen trees, forests, things like that. So really exciting. And so that's going to be the backing. And so we're going to have matching little pillows, and it's going to be so much fun. So I decided the last minute to go ahead and take this on my trip. I just thought, you know what, I'll throw it in my luggage, and I'm so glad I did because I got so much done on it. So I went through and I outlined all of the leaves, and then I started filling them in. I outlined all the leaves, and I do this grass down here early to get it done, but I knew I was going to run out of this. The leaves are outlined and the grass is done in Classic Colors pine needles, and I knew I was going to run out. And so, in case the next skein I bought was a little bit different color because it was a different dye lot, if the grass was a little bit different color than leaves, it wouldn't look weird. But I didn't want like some of the leaves to be in one color and some of them in another, and that it looked like really obvious. So, yeah, and I had just the exact amount I needed to do the leaves. So there is that, and I've started filling in the leaves, which has been really satisfying to do. And I did a little bit of the over one on the Bigfoot's face, but I need to do the other over one for the baby Bigfoot, which is somewhere in here, and then the mama Bigfoot is up here, and I've started her head. So I'm really happy with how this is turning out. And yeah, I'm just so motivated to finish it. I know I don't have to keep up with Sarah. She's done already, so there's no keeping up with her, but I'm just having so much fun, and seeing her finish is like so cute that I really, really want to have mine displayed as well. And getting hair and thistle finished, and which I showed in my last video, getting a finish and then getting light finished has just really made me motivated to have some finishes. So I'm really trying to focus on getting some finishes done. So hopefully this will be my next one. And there it is. So very cute. I am stitching this on a 36 count. It's called Milk and Honey by Fiber on a Whim. And I'm doing 2 over 2, which again is not exactly what they call for in the pattern, but I like 2 over 2 on 36 count. It's just my favorite. And I'm doing, I would say almost all the called for, a mixture of the called for um, DMC and the called for overnights. Okay. I have one more new start that's also kind of a haul. So, when I went to Denver, it was really snowy. And we actually were afraid that we were not going to get to Denver because they were forecasting a massive snowstorm, flight cancellations, all that stuff. So we were just like, you know what? Let's just try to get to the airport. Maybe we'll make it in on the last flight into Denver. And I kind of think we did. But the next day, we had reservations for like Meow Wolf and some other different things, and they all got canceled because of the heavy snow. And a lot of places were closed because of snow. And so I was like, there's an LNS in this town, and I'm just going to give them a call and see if they're open. And so I called this LNS, and it's called A Stitching Shop, and it's in Colorado. It's in Denver, Colorado. And she said, yeah, we're open, and our street has been plowed. Our our parking lot's been plowed. Come on if you want to. So I did, and I picked up. This is one of the things I picked up. So I will tell you about the rest of it when I do my haul. But this is something I picked up. And I have to tell you, the owner was so wonderful and nice. I was the only person in there. And my husband was trying to get my daughter to take a nap in the car. And she would not nap. She was not napping. And so he ended up bringing her inside. And she had been all cooped up. She'd been on a plane the day before. She'd played in the snow that morning. But yeah, she was a little bit being really extra 5-year-old. And she was a little bit running around the store. And the owner was so nice. And she was like, she's fine. Just let her play. Like, she can look at stuff, as long as she's not hurting anything. There's no one in here for her to bother. So just let her, be a kid. And so it was wonderful. But one of the things is I told her to go over to the wall of like Mill Hill kits. And I said, pick out a kit and I'll stitch it for you. And then I'll make it and it'll be like your little ornament or whatever. So she picked out this, and it is the Springtime Beaded Ornaments Pink Flower. And I did not realize because I didn't even look. I saw it. I was like, okay, yeah, cute, sure. Put it in my little basket. This is all beads. All beads. So I actually got it out that evening at the Airbnb, and I was like, what the heck? And it is 100% beads. So it's the perforated paper, and I have my needle attached, so I'm trying to like kind of hold it in a creative way here. And this is what it looks like. There we go. But it's kind of fun. So I realized that I didn't get quite centered, so I had to go over this way first to make sure that I wasn't going to run out of space. But it's fine. And so yeah, all of that is beads. There's no actual like cross stitches. It's all beads, and they're all attached with a half stitch. And it's really interesting. I've done bead embroidery, but never like a cross stitch bead embroidery before. And yeah, so it's quite satisfying. It takes a lot longer to do than cross stitching just with thread because you're kind of, I don't know, it's just a little bit more difficult to figure out. And the beads are different sizes, which is kind of interesting texturally. I will say that I had a real hard time figuring out what the different beads were because this is how they come. They're like all kind of together, and some of them are similar. So I did have a little bit of struggle figuring out what the beads were, but now I've got it. I still sometimes stitch a wrong bead and then have to pull it off. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's really pretty. And I mean, it doesn't take super long to do, so it's sort of fun. And I'm trying something new, and I wouldn't have decided to try this if it wasn't for my daughter just picking it. So pretty excited. So that is one piece of haul. Okay, before I get into all of the haul, because I have quite a lot of haul from this place, and I have some other haul. I've just got lots of haul. I want to do my giveaway. So I told y'all in my last video that I had started something for a giveaway, but I hadn't got it finished. And this time I have got it finished. So here it is. It is a project bag. So I have been trying to sew through my stash. I have a lot of random fabrics that I picked up like 1 yard of, a half yard of, things that I bought for a project, overbought, end up with extra. And so I've been trying to make it things into like just small projects like project bags, things like that. And I thought it'd be fun to make one for y'all. So this is the project bag I made. This is a quilting fabric that I bought several, maybe like 7 or 8 years ago to make myself a skirt. And I had a bit left over. This is, I will say, this is a little bit smaller than a standard. So this, let me see. This is about the size I normally make my bags. And this is like a little bit smaller. It's a little bit smaller. So I want to say it's maybe like 11.5 by 12. So it's a little bit smaller, but that's just because of the size pieces I had left over out of this floral fabric. I didn't have like 14 by 12 or 14 by whatever pieces. So it's a little bit smaller. And then I have this beautiful contrast color on top. And then I've got a red zipper. And then the inside is just lined with white, because I feel like that's the easiest to see your needles and all your floss and everything. So that is my giveaway. I want to give this to one of my viewers because I want to thank you guys for coming back and subscribing and stuff like that. So if you want to enter this, I would like for you to be a subscriber, because I'm trying to thank my subscribers. And I would like for you to comment below and use the word spring, because we're heading into spring and this is a nice floral. So comment below and use the word spring if you want to be entered to win this bag. And of course you need to be over the age of 18, because you need to be able to give me your address. And I would also, please don't say the word like giveaway, freebie, win, prize, all that good stuff, because then it attracts bots. So don't do that, because then I'll have to delete your comment. That'll be sad. And yeah, use the word spring. And then next video, which will be at least 2 weeks from now, maybe 3, I will draw for the winner. And I will announce it in the next video. So there you go. Hopefully you like it. Like I said, it is a little bit smaller, but it will still fit. I mean, like one of these plum streets would fit perfectly in here. No problem. I just might not like a big old, like, mirabilia or something may not be the best thing for this. But yeah, so that's my little giveaway. That's my little thank you gift for all of y'all for sticking with me and subscribing and, yeah, just being supportive. So, okay. So I want to talk about my haul. So like I said, I went to a stitching shop in Denver, and so I've got that haul and I've got some other haul as well. I actually even have a couple pieces of haul that I did not bring. One of them is a really big thing. I actually bought at Goodwill a vintage sewing machine, and it's huge. So I'm really excited about it, but I need to figure out a place to set it up. So once I have a good place for it, I'll take pictures and I'll talk about it more. But yeah, I got a really good deal on a vintage sewing machine at Goodwill, and I'm really excited about it. But that thing is a heavy beast, so I was not fixing to like pull it up here for y'all. And I haven't found a good place to put it and display it and all of that yet. So that is to be shown later. But let me show y'all what I got. So the first bit of haul I have, I actually did not get on my trip. So the weekend before we went to Denver, my husband and I had a little date night type of thing, and we decided to do some shopping, which was when we went to Goodwill and found that vintage sewing machine. But we also went to Home Goods, and I found this right here, which I'm really excited about. So this cost me $10, and it's from a brand called Beano. I don't know. Never heard of it before. It's from Home Goods. And it's a little travel jewelry case. And you've probably seen where people have taken these and there's a mirror in here, and I did not want to blind y'all with my halo light, or my ring light, so I just went ahead and covered that up with sticky notes. But so it's this beautiful turquoise color, and I love turquoise. That's one of my favorite colors. And then the inside is kind of like a peach, and there's turquoise as well. So I want to convert this into a little stitching box. So I'm excited to try that out. I don't know when I'm going to do it because I need to like have a really good like whole afternoon. But I'm going to try to take out the mirror. I don't know because I have seen a lot of people who've done it have covered up or put trim on this little pocket, but it's really stretchy and I don't want to interfere with the stretchiness of it. So I'm not really sure what to do there, but it's got these little compartments that you can open up, which I'm going to leave pretty much as they are because they're already the pretty turquoise. And then I'm going to pull out this divider and this little ring section, and I'm going to put some pretty fabric and stuff in there. And yeah, I don't know what I'm going to put on the top yet. I don't have a stitched piece that I think will work, so I might have to look around for something. I want something that's non-directional, so like a Quaker or something like that, to where if I have it sitting like this or if I have it sitting open like that, that it won't be upside down either way. And then it's going to have to be kind of small because it's a little bit of a smaller case. So I might just do some like English paper piecing and put that on there. I think that'd be pretty. But yeah, I don't know. I'll probably do the inside and then wait to do the top until I've decided like really fully what I want to do. But if anyone has any good ideas for some kind of smallish, maybe like Quakers or something like that, let me know because that's the sort of thing I'm kind of thinking of. And then it's got this zipper. Yeah, I'm really excited. I had seen a lot of people doing these, but I kind of was like, I don't know. And then when I saw this at Home Goods, I just thought, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do with this. So, all right, so that's my first little bit of haul. Now I'm gonna get into my stitching shop haul. So there's gonna be some crinkling because I've got a bag right here, and I apologize. I don't mind crinkling because to me it's the sound of like happiness, but I'm gonna try to crinkle as little as I can. Okay, so I showed you the one Mill Hill kit that I got already, which was this one, which I've now put in the bag upside down. I also got another Mill Hill kit that my daughter picked out because she said, well, Mommy, I want the flower, but you need this one. And it said, it's I Love Coffee. And I do. And she knows me. So yeah, I do need this one. So this one is actually one of the like regular stitched, and then it's got some beads. So I am excited for this one. I think this will be a good, just little quick project at some point. These are my first Mill Hill kits. I've never had a Mill Hill kit before, so I'm really excited about this. Okay. I actually only got one piece of haul from Market because sadly, a lot of the designers that I've had my eye on specific pieces from for Market had not come in yet. And that's just, I mean, it is what it is. It's not her fault. It's not the owner's fault. It's not anyone's fault. It's just, you know, it just happened. So, so there's a couple more pieces from Market that I might be picking up from other stores. But I did get one piece that was from Market, and that was, I'm trying to see if I can hold these up without too much glare, the Blue Flower, Hedgehog, and Hyacinth. And I love this piece. So Jacinta or Jacinta means hyacinth in Portuguese and I think Spanish as well. And so I love hyacinths. I kind of think of them as my flower. And then I love hedgehogs. I love hedgehogs so much. And so I had to get this piece. And it's pretty small. It's only, yeah, 55 by 59 stitches. So it's pretty, I think it'd be a quick one. Now, I did not realize, because, and she may have had it there, I just wasn't paying attention, that there is a Cottage Garden thread pack that you can buy, and it has been sold out everywhere I have seen. So, kind of a little bit bummed, because the thread pack is beautiful, but I do think I could come up with my own little conversion for this, maybe. So really, really cute. Excited about that. Um, I also picked up, so when I go to a LNS, I try to focus on getting charts that I cannot get as a PDF because I prefer to stitch off of PDFs because I can put them in Pattern Keeper. I love Pattern Keeper. And even if I can't put them in Pattern Keeper, I like being able to like print off extra copies and like mark on them and stuff like that. So I like to print out to stitch off of PDFs if I at all can, but there are some companies that just don't do PDFs. So I try to focus on buying stuff that I cannot get as a PDF. So that's what I've kind of bought mostly on this trip. So I got two more of my favorite things ever, the Plum Street samplers, like animal stacks, animal trios. So I got Cardinal Kin, which is a Christmas one. I love these. Sorry about the glare. These are not in, I would have to cut into the plastic to take them out. So I'm trying to show you without having to like deconstruct the package. So Cardinal Kin, which is like a Christmas one. So cute. And then I got Sheep Heap. And this one is, of course, the sheeps. And I love this one. This one might be one of the ones I stitch next because it is so adorable. Like those berries, the different patterns on the sheep. I love it. I love it. So I got those two. And then I also picked up a couple more things, a couple more charts. So I got Winds of Autumn, and this one I think I will take out because it does open up and I've already taken it out. I got Winds of Autumn, which is my first book, like booklet by Blackbird. I want more of these booklets, but I'm always overwhelmed by choice. And this one Olivia Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, she has stitched a number of things out of this book, and so I knew I'd like it. I think there's only one pattern in this book that I don't think I'll stitch. I think everything else I want to do. So, like, I really, really want to do this strawberry finish with the, like, crow or the raven. I love that. That's beautiful. I really want to do that one. I love this acorn house sampler. Where is it? Right there. And I love, there's a lot of drums in this. That was one of the reasons I picked it, is I really, really love a drum finish. And so I wanted more patterns that lent themselves to drum finishes. The only one I think I'm not going to do is this little pillow right here because I don't stitch owls. That's just kind of a superstition in my family's culture. We don't do a lot of owls. So I probably won't stitch that one. Maybe I can rechart it into like a raven or a cat or something. But that's probably the only one that I'm not going to do. The rest of it I am really excited about. So I've had a couple people, I posted this online, and I had a couple people tell me that they have this as well. So if any of you coming up in like the fall have this one and want to stitch something out of it together with me, please let me know because I'm definitely having some choice paralysis. I'm not going to start anything in this until probably like August-ish, but definitely going to be starting something out of this in the fall. So let me know if you have this too and what if you want to stitch anything with me, because I do love stitching with friends. Okay, my last chart I picked up is Nora Corbett Capricorn, and this is her Zodiac Girl series. So I love this one. I am a Capricorn. My birthday is December 28th, so I'm a Capricorn. A lot of people tell me I'm a very classic stereotypical Capricorn. Yeah, I love this one. She only had this one and then maybe like Gemini or something like that. And that wasn't one that I wanted to do. But I am trying to collect this one. And then I want to also at some point get Libra because my daughter is a Libra. So I would like to at least stitch Capricorn and Libra. And then there's a couple others that I might want to stitch just for either as gifts for people or that are the astrological signs of other important women in my life. My husband's a Scorpio, and I really like the Scorpio pattern, so I might stitch that, but I don't think that he would necessarily, I don't know that he, I don't think he'd care if I stitched it, but he's not into astrological signs or cross-stitched fancy ladies. So, but I definitely want to do Capricorn and then Libra. And then I also, while I was there, I went ahead and picked up the Karen water lilies that this chart calls for. I didn't get the beads, but I am at some point going to have to get the bead pack. And so these are the 3 Karen water lilies that this chart calls for. And I'm stitching another Nora right now. And I've used Karen water lilies for the first time ever. And I love stitching with them. So I knew that I was going to use the water lilies right away. So there's that. And then I also picked up fabric. I picked up some fabric. And one of the things that I picked up was for this. So I got a 32 count because I say always, I've got one other Nora in progress. But my plan whenever I do a Nora Corbett or Mirabilia or any other pattern that has beading is to stitch it on the called for fabric. That way I know the beads fit. So I dropped my fabric. But I picked up petals, 32 count, Picture This Plus in petals, which is a really beautiful pink. I don't even know if it's going to show up true, but it's a really light pink. And so that's what I'm planning on stitching this one on. Get my trash out of the way. Okay, that's what I'm planning on stitching this one on. So it'll be really pretty. And then I got a couple other fabrics because when I am at an LNS, I try to buy fabric because fabric is so hard to buy online because sometimes it just doesn't. I've been burned before where I spent quite a lot of money on fabric and then it didn't end up looking like the picture, which is not necessarily a seller's fault because they can't control what my monitor shows me. But because I've been burned before, I usually try to buy fabric in person if I can. So I got another Picture This Plus. I got a 36 count sand, and I got a fat quarter of all of these. I got sand, which is a pretty standard Picture This Plus color, and I thought it would be good for a variety of samplers, just different things. I like to keep some neutrals like this in my stash, and so I have that. And then this one is a color that I have been eyeing online for a while, but again, I was a little scared that it wasn't going to look the same in person, and that is Fox and Rabbit Oyster Shell by Fox and Rabbit, and I got this in a 36 count as well. And so it's so pretty. It looks more gray, but it's like a grayish lilac color. So beautiful, so beautiful. Do I know what I'm going to stitch this with? I don't know, but I knew that I had to have it. So very excited about that. Okay, I've got a couple more really quick pieces of haul. These are things I ordered off of Amazon. So I realized that when I'm stitching, I tend to be like hunched over. And I'm 33, and I've had some time to like process that I'm not in my 20s anymore. And so I'm really starting to think like, okay, I need to be taking care of myself so that I can continue to do the things I love for a long time. And so I wanted to kind of put together a little bit of a setup so that I wasn't putting so much strain on my back when I'm doing my crafts. So I got a couple things from Amazon. And so this is my little setup. So I got 2 things that I'm going to show you. I got a tray. So this is the tray. And it's called like, I can put a link, or if anyone wants me to, just let me know. I'll send you the link. But I got this tray. It's like a laptop bed tray, whatever. And it's just got some little legs. So it just pops out. It's wood. And I know that some people make custom ones like this that are really nice. But I wanted to make sure that something like this worked for me before I spent some money on like a nice custom one. But I may eventually do that. So I have this one. So this is just goes like this, kind of over your legs. And I can use this either on the couch or on the bed if I'm stitching on the bed. So I've got this here, and I like that it has a lip, and I like that it has handles. So I got that. And then I bought this little stand thing off of Amazon as well, and I like that they kind of match. They're not from the same seller. But this is a little cookbook stand, and it just sort of props like that. And so I can put it on my tray. There. My tray is a little small, so we'll see if I like this setup. But then I can put like my pattern, or I use, again, Pattern Keeper a lot. So I'm not going to flip this because then you'll have a glare. But I can put, like, theoretically, I can put my little tablet like there, you know, but obviously have the pattern side up. And just set there. And then I also, you know, like I can take my scissors and just set them on the tray or whatever. Yeah, so I have a little phone holder. This is not a cute one. This is one I got for free at a CLE for lawyers. But anyway, I've got my little setup, right? So, you know, you can kind of see how that works. And then it also has like a little holders if I'm having like a paper pattern that I need to keep held in place. I can use these little arms. So I'm really happy with it right now. I've only started using it like one night, but so far it's been good. So I'm excited to see how it goes, and I'll definitely let y'all know how I like it. But yeah, that's my haul. So that's the most haul I have ever hauled on a video ever before. That is a lot. So, all right. A little bit of knitting and crochet, and then we're going to be done because this is a long video, at least for me. So, my other whip go call for March was my granny stripe crochet blanket, and that is this. And I have been working on it, so I'm going to see. I don't know how I can't really show you the whole thing all at once, but it's quite large, and I've got a lot of ends I need to weave in. But this is all like sock yarn scraps. It's all scraps for like fingering weight yarn, 100% scraps. So there it is. I've been working on this. I've been working on this for years, you guys. And so I added maybe 3 rows-ish on this. And crochet hurts my wrist a little bit. I've had some wrist injuries when I was younger, and so the motion of it tends to hurt my wrist, so I can't do it for too long of a period, but it's very satisfying to see this grow. So I did work on this, so that's there. And then the other thing I've been working on is this sweater. And this was my plain knitting. And this is the Miserina by Caitlin Hunter. And I started this last May. So this has taken me forever. This is the longest sweater has ever taken me. And I've shown this to y'all before, but I am finally done with the yoke. So let me show y'all where I'm at. Of course, I'm midway through a row. Classic me. But this is where I am. This is the yoke. So the color work section is completely done. And I'm so happy. It looks beautiful. But this has got lace, it's got color work, and it's got cables. So that's why it took me so long. Because the amount of concentration that this yoke took me was, I mean, I can't even tell you. So anyway, here it is. This is the yoke. And now I just have to knit the body. Just going down the body. It does have a little bit of texture. I don't even know if you can tell that has a texture, but it has a little bit of texture pattern on the body. And the body's been going quite a bit quicker. So where I last showed you was about like here. So I finished out that, and then I knit all the way down to this point. So I'm knitting this in, this is a yarn, I don't know the name or the yarn base because it was a mislabeled, like it was on sale because it was mislabeled, but I bought it from Apothecary Fibers. She is still operational and she's out of Arkansas, I believe. And she has a website. And then the contrast color is I think a limited edition skein from Dragon Horde Yarn. But she has a lot of really beautiful colors like this. So I'll link her as well. And I'm not sure. So this pattern is designed to be a short sleeve. But if I have the yarn, I'm going to knit it long sleeve. I don't know if I will, but I'm going to try. I am knitting this on size US 4 needles. I don't know that in millimeters, and my eyesight is not good enough to see what it says, so I'm really sorry about that. And I'm using the Xiaogu red lace fixed circulars. I know that I have some viewers that are not knitters, but are interested in being knitters, and these are my number one favorite needles of all times. This is about all I use is the Xiaogu fixed circulars red lace. It's my ride or die needles. Almost all the time. So that's what I'm using. And I did try this on, and it is, I'm not going to say it's tight, but it is fitted. And that means that my gauge is off because it was supposed to have a couple inches of positive ease, according to the size I knit. I think it'll be okay, but it's not fitting exactly how I planned. I think it'll still be fine. I think it's going to block out. So when you knit a wool knit garment, you soak it in water and kind of like lay it out. So I think it'll grow a little bit. But yeah, I'm hoping that it fits me the way I want it to. I'm not going back and ripping it out because this took me too long. But yeah, so I would like to, I'm hoping now that it's one color, it's just body, that it will go a little bit quicker. So that is all of my knitting, all of my stitching, and all of my huge amount of haul. So if you've stayed this long, thank you so much for sticking with me. I really appreciate it. And I hope that y'all have a fantastic couple of weeks and that you get a lot of crafting time.